But one of the things, so this morning I was coaching one of my one-on-one clients, and we are talking about how I really like just I sell her offer. Like, you know how I talk to you guys about your offers. Like, I sell it like really passionately and excited. And I had a thought that I think can just like help you guys today when we're thinking about selling our offers. I like to think about selling as believing really hard in your offer. And I think that like in here, like even someone was like, like, I wish you could just sell my offer for me. But when we're learning how to sell, you're learning the skill of believing in yourself. You're learning the skill of believing in your offer. And if we think about all of your services, they are believing in the transformation of another human. So by learning how to sell your offer, you are learning how to sell yourself and others on in transforming their lives, in transforming themselves. And therefore, you're going to be able, when you are able to sell at a really high level, then you're able to sell them on believing that this transformation is possible for them and that they can just become this version of themselves that they never even thought they could be. So that is my offer to you, is like sales is learning how to believe in others and learning how to believe in yourself as the leader of others. And let's get going and talk about monthly evals um and the monthly checklist. I know this has been like much talked about. I know that Mikkel she's like, when do you actually do all these things? And I'm like, that's what we're going to talk about today. That's what I like to do. I like to set aside time once a month to really do a deep seated eval and just make sure that I'm on track for my business goals, making sure that I'm growing in each of the categories as I see fit. Now, for you all, when we're thinking about, like, for you, I wanted to make sure that you had time set aside to do this. So in January, we're going to do a midway one-on-one session. And the checklist that I'm going to have you guys fill out today, you can do it for December, or you can just wait until January and we can talk about where you're at and where you want to go in the future. So just a heads up, we got one-on-one calls coming, and let's get into monthly evals. So when we're thinking about evaluating your business, we want to always be constantly growing and improving. So we'll talk about why it's important. And then, as you know, we're doing weekly evaluations, but also a monthly evaluation to make sure that we're having the larger improvement. And then the monthly checklist, just make sure you get done with like all the other things that you need to do during the month to make sure your business kind of runs smoothly. So a lot of us avoid evaluations like the plague. And I know that's because it can feel judgy. And so I have this like quote here, blah, that we have to like look at judgment and evaluations as gratitude and just like kind of like lovingly like looking at feedback to help us grow. We want to make sure that we are not um that we get really comfortable with evaluations and just learn to grow from them. So like we talked about, like with the weekly evaluations, we've got that weekly eval. Not, I was like, oh, Nadi, do you have a question? Oh, nope. Okay. I was like, great. Oh, I was like, what? Okay, okay. You just let me know. I was like, but when we're thinking about doing those weekly evals, like I was talking about, like, I think last week with Harmony, it's like the zeros are normal. Like it's a part of it. It's like we gotta get familiar with it, and in order to grow, if just get curious and be like, okay, how could I make this not as, if my goal is not to make this a zero, what could be something different I could do next week? Now, for you, when we're thinking about, and I have like the weeks in here, but like I changed it for you guys. When we're thinking about the monthly checklist, we've got your checklist of things to do. So the profit and loss spreadsheet is the weekly tracker. So I changed the names of these, I'm pretty sure, for you guys. If not, I will fix it. Update projections that we learned last week or 2 weeks ago. Update the annual plan. You can have like goals and things like that. Update, and then just do a monthly eval, and then update your marketing calendar. So those are the only things that you really have right now for your list of things to do. It could be make slides for a webinar that needs to be put on here. but just like, these are like the things that I need to do every single month. So it's like, I have my projection sheet, I have my receivables. I used to have it on 2 separate sheets. I combined them. Um, Making sure that when I'm updating my client information, if I've got people re-signing, that's from week 2, that I like send them the message. How to do QuickBooks. I'll show you guys that on the 26th. You'll get access to all the bonuses, and you can see if you use QuickBooks, that's something I need to do every month. Making sure I'm doing expenses every month. That's something I'm going to add a new module for later. Delete like weird things, like deleting all of my Zoom calls. I'm like, my Zoom calls just like take up a lot of space, just like random stuff that you don't typically do every week. Signing up for coaching, making sure I sign up for networking events, updating my marketing calendar, changing my payroll. Those are all things that I want to do every month. So just think about like things that are like random that you want to do every month. That's what goes on the monthly checklist. Alicia,
What module was the weekly checklist? Do you remember?
the weekly checklist? There is
Yeah.
no weekly checklist, there's just the monthly checklist.
Oh, well, what did you show on the slide just before?
Ah, I'm like, hold please. Do.
Planning system.
This the weekly eval. This is on Monday. It's planning. The planning one, I think it was week 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, this is just like when you're thinking about like, and remember how we did that weekly tracker, the rainbow one with like all the different colors? I'll show you. I was like,
Sort of. It's okay. It's okay. I just wondered, I
I was
thought
like,
that was one I just didn't remember seeing. So I was like, wait a minute, did I skip one? I was
got it,
just
girl.
sure.
It's the weekly eval here. So I'm gonna just
What
tag
is
it.
oh, it's in 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tag it in it. And then the rainbow spreadsheet, that one's here.
Okay. Thanks. I'll just make sure that, when I'm copying all of those, I'm trying to go back through and make sure that I actually got every document and make copies. But anyway, thank you.
Of course, of course. So when we are thinking about evaluating, just typically, we want to think about what are wins, what's working, what could use improvement, and what do we want to do differently. And that's exactly how you want to be evaluating for each of the pieces of your business. So here we've got managing leads, marketing, sales, presenting, delivery, planning. So at the top, you can put like the 5 biggest wins of the month. And you can be like, okay, what are my 5 wins? And then where it says managing here, you'll put each month. I make a cop when I was doing, again, you got to be flexible with this. This is an additional system for a reason. I think I did this up until August, and now I'm gonna maybe make this like an annual evaluation. So it's like, it doesn't need to be something that you do. It could be a quarterly evaluation, doesn't have to be monthly. But I make a separate copy of each of these documents, and I put December on the top, or I'll put January, whatever month it is. And then I'll think about, okay, managing leads. First off, what are my 5 wins? I'm like, okay, this has been an awesome quarter. It's been an awesome year. It's been an awesome month. List that first. Then for just overall. And then for managing leads, what would I rank that right now? So I might say, managing leads, I might say that's like a 3 right now. It's like I'm struggling with managing leads, and it's like and just having time to reach out to people now that I've took on new people. So I'm like, this is something that I'm like, oh, this is like the most important part of my business. This is like important. So I would say what's working for me is having those pre-recorded videos. Anytime a new follower comes, I have been good about sending that out. However, what can be improved is I've got this list of all these people. Oh my gosh, the thumbs up. Again, I was like, for the 2 fingers. Have I showed you guys this? That don't know why this happens. I was like, and if I do this, then confetti comes down. We'll see. But yeah, it's a celebration for an evaluation. We got this. I was like,
Oh my gosh. Thank you because that happens in on my group calls. I get balloons sometimes. I'm like, I have no idea what that's from.
No idea. And I don't know how to take it off. I've turned off reactions. I've done all the things. I don't know if it works for you, but yeah, it's a whole thing.
I
Yeah.
get it. That's so funny. Thank you.
Of course. It's like, but when we're thinking about evaluating, I'm like, okay, so what could be improved? When I say it like that, I'm like, okay, what could be better? And I'm like, I'm getting all these people with the testimonial template. I would really love to talk with them. And I'm in a stage in my business where I'm like, what can I do differently? I'm considering bringing on a VA to like help me with that and like do that. I also know that what I can do differently. So I'm like, maybe I can like make a protocol for a VA. That's one of the things I can do differently. Another thing I can do differently is I've left my Fridays open so that anyone can book calls. And for the past like 4 Fridays, which is usually my admin day, I've noticed that like, and that maybe would go with planning. It's like I'm gonna start blocking out my Fridays so I can actually get back to like talking to people. So at least I'll have one day where I can talk to people a week, even if I'm not talking to people every single day throughout the week. And then I think about like, what would it look like to be a 10 for managing leads? It's like I have a protocol in place where anyone who is new to my audience is getting a touch point, and anyone who is in my current audience is getting nurtured in a way that feels really authentic and good to me. That's what it would look like for managing leads to be a 10. So I go through and do that each category. Where the colon is here, put the number you're at right now, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. What's working, what could be improved, what you want to do differently, and what would it look like to be a 10? Like we want to get clear on like what is a 10 and is it reasonable? So it's like also like another thing is it's like not like I'm doing a perfect protocol and everyone for sure like the second somebody comes into my world, they get a response immediately and they feel nurtured and they immediately sign on as client. That would not be a realistic 10. So we want to keep like a realistic, like what would it feel like to really be a 10 here? So as you're thinking about like as you're filling in your weekly evals in the form, what would a 10 look like for you? What are you looking to make improvements in? And when we meet for our one-on-one call in January, I'm going to I'm going to pull up your form as well so we can check in and be like, okay, here's what I'm noticing. It's like, let's do this. Here's what I'm noticing for the next 3 months of this program. Where do you want to go? What can I do to like make sure that you feel supported and that you're growing in each of these categories? So you guys are remarkable. I'm so glad I did these. This is new. The positive quote at the end. I like it a lot. I want to hear if there are any questions before we make our templates. All right, feel free to like send me questions, pretty easy going. And let's go. So take a minute, minimize your Zoom, and then get into the mastermind and give me a thumbs up whenever you've got that. Awesome. Okay. I saw Harmony give you a thumbs up. Demetria, did you give me a thumbs up? Alicia gave me a thumbs up. Nadia, did you give me a thumbs up? If not, that's okay. That you've got this pulled up, the monthly template. Let me know whenever you're ready. So I wanted to be classier and put my Red Bull in a mug, and now it tastes like my green tea. And I'm like, that's gross. Just want to give you an update. Nadia, do you have this pulled up? Or it's like, here, just take your time. Okay, great, great. I was double checking. Okay, so we want to go down to module 11. Click on the monthly checklist template first. Then it'll say, make a copy. And you see how I changed it? So in the slides, and I'll go back in and change it in our slides after this. Mental note. But you see how before it said like week 12, it said like all these different like weeks and stuff like that. It's like update the client information, make sure you include price increases, update your annual plan, monthly eval, and marketing calendar. And so what we want to do is we want to organize this. Come to your 6-figure systems Google Drive. Yours should be the first thing. Mine is buried a bit. Create a new folder and name it 11 monthly checklist. Click into it and save it here. Are there any questions? Another thing that somebody showed me like a little bit ago, is that you can make this a checklist too. So you could actually like check it off and it'll like mark it off every week or every month when you do it if you wanted to. But it bothered me that like the reason why I have it the way it is it put check marks for everything and it annoyed me. Now you know. Okay, then the monthly evaluation template. Go ahead and click there. Click make a copy. And I just made it managing leads. And you've got all these here. Take out the monthly evaluation thing here. And then it should be the first thing that pops up when you go to move it in your drive. It should say monthly checklist. And you can put it here. All right. So once you've done that, go ahead and close down your dual screen, unless you want to take notes or something. Go ahead and come back to me, and then we are going to talk through our coaching for today. Oh, but if you guys want to see what it looks like for me, also 12/12, good luck. Exciting news, exciting times. But within my Google Drive, just so you see where like I have it in like business coaching. And then I have monthly evals here. And so I have each year, and you can see I got to May. It wasn't even like, it was like even shorter. But like in 2021, I was better, or not 2021. In 2022, I think I was better about it. I actually did it for like each month. So it's like you can make a folder for each year if you want. And then I just put a number for each month. Like, and then I just didn't get around to it. I'm like, that's okay. Being flexible as a CEO. And remember, when you raise your hand for coaching, tell me a win. Oh, Harmony, are you sick too?
Well, it's been weeks.
No.
I'm fighting some sort of virus. It's lingering.
Gross.
I had a question about the monthly checklist. What is the spreadsheet you talked about, the first one?
The projections. So what I did here for my monthly checklist, this is mine. I just included a link to my projection spreadsheet. So instead of having 2 different documents, if you click share and you click anyone with the link as an editor, copy the link, you can put it in here and just have the whole spreadsheet hyperlinked into this monthly checklist. So you don't have to be like, where is this spreadsheet? You can just be like,
I think I'm not familiar with the spreadsheet, so that's why I was like, I haven't worked on it.
This is the
this is the one that Alicia was asking about.
This is the one with the projections and like the profit, the expected profit that we did 2 weeks ago. And the one that Alicia was talking about was the weekly checklist,
Okay.
which is
Yeah, I know this one. I'm doing it for Friday, our last.
woo!
Okay, it's the other one. I'm like, oh, I'm not there.
Yes, but we will do that. But you can what's it called, for the projections, or it's like, so you could even like, I just pull this up weekly. I don't update this monthly. I don't have this as a part of my monthly checklist. This is a weekly. I guess you could make a weekly checklist. If that helps you, you could have a weekly checklist too. But pretty much for my weekly checklist, it's just the eval and change my Google Calendar for the week.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? That was a great question. For here, you could include your annual plan. So you could be like, you go here to share. And then, sorry, that's my ex-boyfriend's mom. It's like she does not need access to this anymore. I was like, moving on. Like, so you can put the access that's here. And then for the monthly evaluation, I know where that is. And then you could put your marketing calendar in here if you wanted to make it easier for you. But like that one's something I favorite this. So like here. I just want to make things as easy as possible so I can just go wham bam. And like for the monthly eval with all those categories, I want you to take like maybe like 15 to 20 minutes. Like I do not want this to be well thought out. I just want it to be instant, best gut reaction. Just go use talk to type. Like if I were to go through and do the monthly checklist for December, the monthly eval, and be like 3, what's working, tools, talk to type, and be like overwhelmed with new clients. Oh, sorry, no. Bringing in a bunch of new leads. Need to revamp schedule with new clients. Potentially get VA to talk to leads. All leads get a touch point, whether that's nurturing or new outreach. 2, Tess is amazing. Tess is my social media person who's helping me out. I have no idea what to do in between launches. Talk to Jackie about it. Have a clear plan for in between launches and making sure that I am nurturing my current audience so that they're ready to buy in the future. Like, do you see how like literally how fast I'm just doing this? Like, I don't want it to be something that you think a lot about. It doesn't need to be something that's beautiful. This is just for you. It is like literally it's for nobody else. But like for me, low numbers mean high potential. And I'm thinking about like my future self. I'm like, I want to become like a 7-figure version of myself. So I'm like, yeah, like I would say right now my marketing is like a 2 for where I want to go. And I'm not making, remember how Harmony, we were talking about like low numbers. It's like, yeah, I'm marking myself low because I can see, I'm like, oh, I know what this would look like. And I know what's missing to get there. I know that there would be 8 different steps to get there. And I'm cool with that.
Okay, I could get coached.
All right. Already bring it. Give me a win first.
Wins, wins, wins. So many wins. Every single time.
I love
I've
it.
got a very good one, ladies, because I'm so actually I have to really celebrate that. So in September, I do a weekly training. Like I have anyway, I'm working on my butt, but from September to December, I decided to work on my arms and I wanted to be able to do chin-ups.
Uh-huh.
I was able to do a single one. And yesterday I was just like, oh, let me check and stop jumping. My trainer asked me. And I did three chin-ups.
Oh,
I mean,
That
I
is
never
so
thought I would
hard.
be
Go,
able to do
girl.
that. I was just doing it. And so we might like all about like, it took me 3 months to do it, like training 3 times per week, just going. I didn't want to go. I was like, just do it. Don't think about it, like brushing your teeth.
Yep.
And it works.
So proud of you, lady. I love this.
Big one.
Great. And I
And
cannot
it's
wait.
just like a big analogy, like to what we do in coaching. I just going to the gym. So it was, I need to sit with it even more because I think it's a big win.
I totally agree because this also is a totally analogy. And it's like we're thinking about the 90 days of consistency. It's like that's exactly what you're seeing. It's like the 90-day rule, which is like it takes 90 days to see the results from consistent work. Like sometimes with marketing, it doesn't always take that long, but like if you're seeing that with your physical body, then it's like surely this will work for marketing and business and all the things too.
Yeah, it's about just continue doing it. Just do it.
Just do it. So what is like some coaching
You
on?
get better by doing it over and over again. So yeah. So I'm not sure. I mean, yes, I know, but like I've noticed a pattern in the last couple of weeks. I think because I was sick and I was not really listening to my body. And I realized I've told you I was supposed to go to Art Basel in Miami. And I finally canceled at the last minute for a few things. And I keep on going back and forth in between. I want to do things that I was not able to do when I was married, things that are fun, that are different, but also in the back of my mind, I see how I'm not sure if I do them from really I want to do them, or it's because like, oh, it's going to be a networking opportunity. I'm going to be meeting other people. And so it doesn't, I'm going back and forth into, no, this is what I want to do, but actually, is it really what I want to do? Because I feel like a couple of times in the last year on things like this, my body told me like, just stop doing all the things. You're doing so many things at the same time. Between the full-time job, your kids still going through divorce, the life coaching, private practice that you launching, and so when I canceled, I felt good about it. But the 3 days before, I just go back and forth in between pushing myself. And I'm not sure it's for the good reasons.
Okay.
Same for our single mamas group that I've reactivated in my neighborhood. I went last week thinking that I reactivated last September. And it's kind of awkward sometimes because you never know who you're going to find, and you can have really good specimens. But like I met a friend out of it, and I got a client, which is my first client who signed up for my 6 months package, like a few months ago. No,
Wait,
back my last
Gotcha.
time. So I'm like, oh,
yeah, celebrate
so
this.
I'm a single mom. I want to like see like, and I'm doing much better now. And I'm like, oh, and that might be another opportunity for networking and maybe getting clients. And then I go there and there is that crazy woman. And I'm like, why am I doing that to myself?
Wait, which crazy woman?
A single mom, not even a single mom actually, but someone who's really had like mental issues. And we are 4 there. And I'm like looking at this and I'm like, am I looking for like, it's just like this half do I feel like, yeah, I'm doing things, but then I'm not sure I really want to do them. And I have the like, I want to get clients in the back of my mind. So it's just sometimes that doesn't feel it's coming from a good place.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm doing too many things at the same time and all the things.
Yes. Okay, I think I get what you're saying. So it's like what I think you're like, okay, the problem is it's like you've got a lot of things that you're trying to do just in your life, and there are things that you're like looking to do to build your business. You're feeling a little overwhelmed and you're questioning if the things that you're doing are the right things to build your business.
Yeah.
Is that like kind of like what you're feeling? I just want to like
Yeah. Like, and
okay.
yeah.
So here's what I'm hearing. If your brain is stuck in
Like,
indecision, go ahead.
well, it just makes me thinking, and I believe that less is more, and I feel I'm doing too much of more.
Okay, yep. So we need to do less.
Not enough less. And
Yeah.
so,
So the
yeah.
things that you're doing is like, as I started writing out, it's like, so the circumstances are you have, it's like you have a full-time job, you have kids, you have a life coaching practice. And the more that I think you're referring to is the things that you're doing to build the life coaching practice.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what kind of things are you doing? You said you're going to networking events,
Yeah, but
posting.
I feel it's not, I'm not doing, I mean, yeah, I think I'm not doing enough anyways.
Okay, so
Yeah,
like, I love how
networking
everybody's like,
events, it's not a lot. It's not like pure networking events, like, oh, there is that single mom group. There is that Art Basel thing that where I knew I would meet a lot of people, but actually didn't go. It's meeting with my women's group in my building that I founded. It's just, it's nothing. It's not like flat, when sometimes there are networking events organized and you can join one. It's not this at all, though I did one last month, but I'm not even sure they qualify as networking events.
right, because you're still like, there is a right, I think, okay, I'm thinking, I've got thoughts. Okay, so but like I think that your brain is like, this is too much, I'm feeling overwhelmed. What about this is making you feel overwhelmed? Like, it's like, because it's interesting, because you're like, I feel like I'm not doing enough, and also I'm doing too much. Like your brain has, you've told me both things within like, it's like you're like, I'm not doing enough, but I also am doing too much. And I'm like, which, either way, we're gonna get the same result, I'm sure. But tell me, what is the thought that's comes up when you're thinking specifically? I think this is the one that's like bugging you the most. It's like, when I'm building my business, I'm either doing too much or I'm not doing enough. What is the thought that's causing the overwhelm?
It's not that it's too much because I've done it so far.
It can be illogical.
It's almost about like how I have to balance and shift and stop thinking about life coaching and when I'm at work, and then go back to the building a practice mindset, or like trying to do it.
Okay.
Like that dichotomy, like it's almost like, and even in my work, I coach people. And
Right.
I feel like I want to take more and more space as a coach, even at my work, but I don't have the space right now, and people are not interested for me to do more than what I'm doing. I mean, the human resources department is not. Though I really feel like I'm not really interested in my job anymore, like my full-time job.
But I
But I
think
have
it's
to
not
pretend
like
I am.
yeah, right. It's like, I think it's like this thought, like it's almost like an identity shift. Like it's like that I have like multiple identities, and I feel like it's like I'm feeling overwhelmed with like being each of the identities. I don't know what your thoughts would be, but it's almost like, it's like I have too many separate identities, and it just feels like, when am I spending time for each? Is that kind of what I'm hearing a
Yeah,
little?
yeah. I mean, I've been being induced, which is coupled, I think, to the identity of being a single mom now, not being married, being divorced. Like it's a lot in the last year, all of those shifts. And I've added to myself, which is I'm a life coach now. Like I didn't have to do that, but I chose to. I'm like,
I know. But it's like, so you're going through lots of identity shifts, and I think your brain is just giving you like, this is a lot. Like, is that the thought, that like, this is a lot?
this is a lot. And what I keep thinking is just like, I need a break, but
Yeah.
I don't want this break.
Okay. I was like, you need a break. What else is coming up for you when you're thinking thought this is a lot and you're feeling overwhelmed? What else are
Well,
you
I'm feeling this is a lot. I keep on like, no, this is not a lot. Like you've done it. Like it's just like negating it. It's okay. Like I keep on thinking I'm not watching TV anymore. So I have all that time at night I spend doing other things. Like it's not a lot. I refuse to think it's a lot. I refuse to think it's hard. I refuse to think it's tough.
right? But we think what's happening is like when you're not allowing this part of your subconscious that's like, hey, it's a lot, feeling really tired over here. I think what's happening why we're arguing with yourself and negating it is that it's almost like you're playing whack-a-mole with a negative thought. And I think that's what you've been doing for the past couple weeks. And that subconscious belief is going to kind of continue to like surface. You know what I mean? It's like we just have to hear it out and be like, okay, cool. It's like maybe you're like, I refuse to think I have the thought this is a lot, but I think that you are subconsciously having a thought. It's a lot. Maybe. I was like, tell me if
No,
that
no, no. Yeah, I am. Obviously, I am.
I was like, I don't want to like, but it's like, so it's like when your subconscious is having the thought this is a lot, you're feeling overwhelmed. What kind of things are you like not doing? Like you're questioning the things that you're doing. Then just the networking events. Like,
Mhm.
are you planning out your time for your business? Like making sure you got, okay, so at least you're planning out your time, which is great.
I've been doing what I call Sunday hour last for the last
Sunday hour live. I love it.
until since I started studying with
Okay. So we got that
as soon
going
as I
on.
got, I knew I learned about the tool. I was like, oh, let me try this. I thought I was already really good at it, and I was like, oh my god, there's another way. So I'm like doing it.
So I wonder if it's like maybe the mental chatter, like, okay, this is like that might be what's causing the allotness. Like, but let's keep going. So it's like you feeling like you need a break. You're arguing with yourself, you're questioning what you're doing. When you're feeling overwhelmed, what else are you doing or not doing?
Well, I keep on thinking what you're doing is crazy. Nobody else does this.
Yeah, I was like the
Like
mental
my friends
trauma. I
who
was like,
work a lot, my friends who are parents and who have busy jobs in New York City, they smoke pot every single day because they are just so overwhelmed, and they drink. But I don't do that. And instead I do my Sunday hour last.
yeah. So it's like, but I think that like your subconscious is like, look at all these people. You're doing so much. It's like what you're doing is crazy. Right?
Well, I think they are crazy, but actually at the end, because I'm the only one doing that.
Okay. So you think what they're doing is crazy?
Yeah, what they're doing.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Well, it's both. It's like it's going on. It's like I'm crazy for being the only one to do that in my surroundings.
Yep. So you're
And
feeling
at the end, but no, I know that they're crazy. It's not healthy what they're doing.
right. So
I
it's like,
also know that they're fighting a lot. They're like having horrible relationships. So I'm like, I'm not there. But I'm like, I'm the only one doing that still.
yeah, and I think this is like coming back to like it's like, okay, it's like we know what we don't want, but what do we want? Like what actually like it's like once you know what you don't want, like we don't want to be overwhelmed drinking and buffering, but it's like what do we want? What do we actually want our life to look like? So it's like, okay, we're kind of like in this like limbo state. Like I don't want this, but I kind of am not sure what I want for my future. Kind of, does that resonate? It's like, have you pictured what your life would look like as you're doing?
I do, but I don't see any. No, I do.
Like if you like, so it's like, because if we're thinking about your Sunday hour last, when we're thinking about like the way you want your week to look, maybe you're not, it might be that you might not be sold on the week that you like. that you're creating. That like this is the right thing. I feel so confident about what I'm doing, and this is the right thing to bring in people. Does that land like
Can you repeat that?
so it's like you might be like, okay, I know I want to be this badass mama who has a life coaching practice, who has this full-time job, who works out, is like running these groups, is doing all these awesome things, but you might not be sold on like it's like I like the life that I've created, but you might not be sold that it's going to grow your coaching business. Maybe.
Um, oh, I don't know.
What's coming up? It was like
Not much. It's like brain fog and like
okay, gotcha.
electrocardiogram.
Right. So it's like if we're thinking coming back,
Typically overwhelmed, obviously. It's like,
yeah, it's like kind of like you're almost like getting to the point where you're just like, it's like it's just too much, but it's like you feel like you're pushing yourself and you're like, I have too much going on. So it's like I think what's happening is from this place of like not feeling like you're kind of isolated. Maybe this is where you're like adding more stuff, but like not knowing what you're adding is working. Because you're saying there's what is this not enough less? What is this stuff that you've added that feels like it's a lot?
um, well, it's just like I don't have a time to like, I mean, my breaks or my relaxed time are like working out. Um, like it's hard for me to just watch a movie and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like when we're thinking about like this a lot and feeling overwhelmed, it's like you continue to make it a lot
Yeah.
to make a lot of things in your life. So it's like your brain is like, I'm fucking tired. I really need a break. I need time to relax. And you're like, shut up, brain. You're like, I can totally do this. I can make this happen. Versus actually like allowing yourself to be like, okay, it's like a balance. Like literally the post I'm doing today is like when we're thinking about building this incredible life for yourself, that incredible future version of you also takes breaks and also rests. And she enjoys movies and relaxing and like taking breaks. What comes up there?
Well, even when before I was thinking like I just have to intentionally plan more break time. So like really like a little night thing every day, even if it's only 30 minutes.
So I think
I don't put a podcast on or I don't put music on or it's just like staying with myself.
yeah,
That
sure.
would be the break.
Yeah. And like for especially if you're sick, like one of the things that like I've been doing is like I usually work out in the morning, usually do myself cook. Sorry, these freaking thumbs up. I can't. But it's like I usually work out. I usually do my self coaching in the morning. And for the past couple of days, I haven't had a chance to. I'm like, that's cool. I'm totally fine with that. Like it's like I have been going to bed earlier. I have been just like staying. It's like watching trash. Well, I'm really trash TV. I love like actiony shows. So we like got into 24. So we're watching 24. It's like I'm planning unscheduled, non-intentional time too. Like I'm just like, well, after this, I'm like not. You don't need to be intentional to be a high achiever and do the things that you like. You can be achiever like high achieving in your business and also not like intentionally planning every single moment of your life. And I think your brain thought that like you had to like plan every single moment in order to achieve the things that you want to, when I think that we're realizing it's not sustainable. what's coming up for you there? It's like, because you're like, it's like I can intentionally give myself 30 minutes and I'm like, my God, Harmony. I'm like, that is a very short period of time. I'm like, I would lose my shit too. I was like, I would not be feeling great.
Yeah, but I mean,
I need some more
between
than
working out, my full-time job, the kids, yeah. And I like to sleep a lot. I cannot wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning like you. I can't do that.
I wake up at like 6:30. I was like, but still. Also,
But I go to bed at 9:30 and I wake up at 6:30 and it's hard for me. This is
that's-
taking a big chunk of my day.
yeah. And I think that like, so it's like, but it's like, do you see how like you're like, "Ugh, should sleep less. It's like I should like get less sleep. It's like, no, already. It's like we want to create a life that feels good for you as you build this business and as you do these things, or else you're gonna resent the business and it's not gonna be fun as you build it, and you're not gonna be in the like best state. So it's like when we're thinking about you, when you're showing up as the best version of yourself for you, it's like I think that there is a thought about that version of you that's like if I don't, and it's like the reason why I think this is like the intentionally planning, and you never said it. I was trying to like see if you would say it, but it's like almost like that there was like a right thing. Like you were like that there's like a right thing to do. It's like so I have to plan the right kind of day and do the right things in order to have what I want. That's what I was thinking this is coming from. And it was see if that lands for you.
Well, some days do feel better than others. Yesterday was a very good day, which was a day I really planned well. So I didn't have to think through and I just followed everything I had planned to do. And it felt pretty good,
Okay.
including watching The Crown, 2 episodes.
Two
And it
whole
was
episodes. I watched like 6 episodes last night. I was like, we're
while
going.
eating though. Like it feels like I have to do 2 things at the same time. It cannot just be one thing. Anyways,
See,
it's
it's so like you're
I think
creating.
it's the end of the year and I'm exhausted. Yes.
Yeah, and it's like we don't want to start 2024 being exhausted either. And also when you're sick, we might need to adjust the plan. Like also like like on Sunday, I was like out with my mom. And I was like, I'm just in a really bad mood. And I was just like not in a good mood at all. And I was like, something's gone wrong. And I was like, there's something, I was like, I just feel like so grumpy and all this stuff. And then I realized I was sick. I was like, oh, it's like, so we almost need to make a plan for when you're sick and things like that. That's another thing. Like for when my hormones are going crazy, it's like making sure I have a plan for those times so that it doesn't feel like it's instead of feeling like I have to like, it's like making a plan for when shit hits the fan too. And like having that as like an alternative for your days versus just trying to push yourself when you're sick and tired. And you said you've been sick for multiple weeks. That's why I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
a very low level, but it's definitely there.
but it's, you know, and I think it's just because you haven't given your time to chill.
Yeah.
Like you just trying to push the same schedule. So it's good for everybody. It's like if your kid's sick, if you're sick, if you've got stuff going on, we need to make a different plan. To it's like I think you're thinking that like the plan when you're feeling well is the only plan that works versus every plan that I do works.
Yeah,
Like
it's hard
though-
to slow down in the last weeks. Yeah.
yeah, flexible. So we just need to make a flexible slow down plan because this is not that I want you to be able to be sick and come back and feel like rejuvenated and feel better versus getting sick and prolonging and just like being like this low hum of illness that's over your life.
Yeah.
So it's like with it's like versus it being like, and it's like, that's what I was thinking. There's something like there's a right thing to do with the networking group. There's like a right networking group. There's a right way to be doing the group things. There's a right like amount that I'm posting or things like that. It's like everything I do is right, even when it's my slow down plan. So what was a slow down plan look like for you? Even if we're changing your plan.
What I do slow down plan. Doing less, But I wouldn't be able to do right now. What does it mean?
It's like I think that we picture a lot of like us as our like future selves or like that like badass mama is doing everything. And we're like, yeah, she like never gets sick. Like going back to like what I was saying with like the 10, it's like all these get a touch point. This would be like if I had said like immediately. It's like all leads get a touch point. It might be 2 weeks from now, and that's fine. But it's like when I say things like immediately, like I have to do all this, it feels like there's a lot of pressure building your business, and that pressure will slowly build until you break. And we just don't need that. We're like, nope, we're not gonna do that. I've gotten so burnt out with my business. I was like, I I like literally got on like this 200K call and I was like, I just don't even think I want to have a business anymore. This was last summer. It was great. Literally like just like completely broke down. And it was like all the things. So it's like I just don't want you to get to that point. I want you to have a slow down plan where you're like doing all these things. And as this like badass single mama who is a full-time job and is creating this and is building up her amazing life coaching practice, what would a slow
I
down
think I
plan?
want to build my slowdown plan progressively until the end of December, actually,
I
finishing.
100% think you need to do that.
So it's not 1 week, it's until the end of the year. And we're going on our first combined family vacation between Christmas and New Year's. So that's going to be exciting. And that's
So I
not
want
going
you to actually like take a break there, and I also want you
to.
to just like enjoy it and live in the moment. What would you need to have in that plan? What are the like necessities? Minimum baseline? What are the like
Well, it's just being on vacation. It's just like the baseline is just enjoying. There's nothing to do except being on vacation.
well for that and then it's like I want you to
Ah.
instill now that and enjoying vacation, super important. What do you want to do between now and then so that you feel like I can just
But I think when I'm at my full-time job, I have to go back into that spirit of like, I like what I'm doing, like just like thinking about the full-time job, not having anything else in my mind, not thinking I should be doing more of the life coaching, trying anyway, just being
yeah.
present with every single task that I do, because lately I've been everywhere in my head when I was doing, whether it was my full-time job or the life coaching.
I love
So
that.
it's just, yeah, I just like one thing at a time.
Yeah. It's like taking one thing at a time. And
Yeah.
I think that so if we're thinking about like your intentional model, it's like what is the goal with your business or things like that are triggering you to be like, I need to do more, I need to do less, it's too much. But regardless, we need to figure out like what that is. What is the thing that is triggering you to feel like this? But I think that the overarching feeling is probably going to be trust. It's like trusting that what I'm doing is right, trusting that the timing, trusting it's going to work out in some way, shape, or form. Because like here, it's like, what about this? Is it a certain goal that you have with it that is like triggering you to go into this like situation?
Well, I would like to help more people and get more clients. That's the only thing. Like if I didn't have that goal, I wouldn't try to do the things.
Yeah. And so it's like, we're developing a healthier relationship with this goal right now, right? We're creating a relationship. Like, it's like, okay, I have a goal to help more people and get more clients. I think it is like, okay, we have a goal that we're learning how to figure out how to get 3 more by the end of the year just by like existing. And like, maybe just like, we can always move the goals around, right? So you can always change your goals at any point. But it's like if we want to become the kind of person that signs 3 people doing or just one person, what do you want your goal to be towards the end of the year?
To be honest, I don't even want to, if I don't even think like I want the goal to be one physical pay client at this point. It's more about the goal for me would be to trust that it's gonna work out. Like it's not even getting that. It's just like feeling that calm confidence that it's gonna fall into place.
Um,
Yeah, it's not even the getting it. It's
but here's where I'm like,
like sense. It's just because this is how it happened before. So
it is how it happened before, but I think that like if you don't have like it's like for me, I noticed that like when I have an unhealthy not an unhealthy, but like a relationship with goals that's negative, it's like, oh, I just don't want to have a goal. It's like I just don't really like it's like I don't even want to think about signing a client until the end of the year. I don't want to do anything like that. And I've totally been there myself. And I think that we want to learn how to have that calm confidence, signing one client with the flexible slow plan. It's like I think that this three, the having a goal, creating this confidence, even when you're not doing like an intense plan, that's what I would love for you to, that's how I see you up leveling as the CEO of your business. Like, yeah, I can still have goals and I can still slow down and I can trust that everything is going to fall into place, even if I'm doing way less. If there's way less, it's like when you have this thought and the intention of signing another client, I think that's where real magic happens. Does that feel comfortable and safe to
well,
you?
I guess in that case, it's getting like one client doing less.
Mhm. Yes. So what would it's like less to get that one client? What would the less be if we're thinking about doing less to make more? What is the stuff that you actually love and enjoy doing in your business?
What do I enjoy? I enjoy creating the social media content. I enjoy just talking to people. I enjoy yeah. I enjoy telling my story to other people when they ask.
Uh-huh.
I enjoy meeting other people and new people.
So how do you want to meet new people before the end of the year?
But this is where I go, like, just girl, give yourself a break. You meeting people all the time.
Right. Okay. So it's like, so even if we're on the subway, like
Yeah.
that's where I want you to be like, even if I'm on the subway, I'm meeting people and that's enough. Like that is like
Yeah.
this person might be the person. This person at work might be the person, but like having that like
Well, I meet people. There's going to be the Christmas party at my building.
and like you see what I'm saying? It's like coming from that place of like, it's like I just want to show up in like this calm confidence, that trust, and being like, but like from the intention, like I think I can help somebody before the end of the year.
Yes.
I think it'd be really awesome for them to work with me before the end of the year. As they go to their holiday parties, as they go to their things, their family vacations, and things like that, even just them signing up to work with me, even just signing up for a consult, it's like that's going to be a transformation in and of itself for them. And it's like I'm willing to like just be the person who signs a client literally anywhere and everywhere by doing less. And what's going to happen is then you sign clients by doing less. Now it's like, I don't know if this person is at the Christmas party. I don't know if it's the person who's going to read your post. I don't know if it's going to be a person that you talk to. I don't know who it's you tell your story to, but it's like, this is our intention that like, I want every like moment that I just am the kind of person who brings in a person from nowhere. It's like, I don't even know where they're coming from, but I'm ready to receive a client and work with that client now. It's like I just want you to be in that energy, like as you do as you go to sleep at night. Like it's like, but like I'm ready to bring in a person right now. I'm ready. I don't need. It's like even though I'm doing less and slowing down, I'm ready to take on one more client. Because I think that like what's been happening is like you've almost been like if you've been feeling exhausted and tired, it's almost like you've been energetically blocking them from joining you. Does that make sense? It's like you're like,
Absolutely.
so it's like as you do your posts, do you feel like you are ready to receive another client right now?
Well, I keep on thinking this is not the way I'm going to make clients, but it's fun to do, and it's building my self-confidence, and I
So it's
enjoy
like
it.
you're doing all this stuff, which is good, but it's like we want to do all this stuff, but like it's like, do you do you have time and space for another client right now?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I want you to do this like, hey, it's like this is where like a little bit of like the woo happens, but like it's like, you know what? I really feel like I could help these people. I don't feel like it would be too much. It's like send me, it's like I'm ready to bring in these people. I feel like it'd be so exciting to work with them. I'm just happy to serve them. I know I've learned a lot in these past couple of years and like I'm ready to help these humans. And when you can like feel like, because like if you're thinking that it's like I don't have enough less, I'm doing too much, it's too much, then what's happening is like signing a client would be more. So your brain's like, your subconscious is blocking you from bringing this client in. So it's like within that, it's like, I want you to picture yourself like working with, like, just like the envisioning of working with another client and it being really easy and being like, yep, it's like, I totally got this. Like, it's like, this would be so fun. It would be easy to have a client. Like, nothing that is actually like tangible. The way that you're saying things on your posts would be like, I would love to invite you to a consult. It's like, I think it'd be so much fun. It's like, I love doing consults with people and I love working with people. It's like working with me over it's 6 months, right?
Mhm.
It's like working with me over 6 months, you're not only going to be more decisive, but you're going to be changed in all these 6 ways. I'm so excited for you to be a part of this. Like, let me know when you want to book a consult. We can totally talk about this. If not, that's totally fine. I'm just gonna keep producing content. But like, I also want you, like, as you do the creating social media from joy, I want you to coach yourself to be in that. If you want to coach yourself, if that's something you want to remove, that's totally fine. But just like literally like envisioning like it being fun, it being exciting. When I started, when I just decided to take on some more clients recently, it's like I had so many thoughts about like, oh my God, it's going to be too much. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot. I coached myself to be in a place like it would be so awesome to work with 5 new people. Like that would be so much fun. And then I posted but it was like I had to be in that place where I was ready to receive them. Does that make sense? I know it's like a little wooish, but it's like,
No,
like,
absolutely not. I mean, this is how I found my boyfriend.
yes,
It's not happened to
exactly.
me. Like I was like, he's out there. I'm curious where he is. And this is how I got on the dating apps, which I've never done before.
Yeah, so it's like I'm curious to where they are. It's like I can't wait to sign them. It's gonna be great. But this is a strength of yours, and I want you to use it. I want this for everybody. I want you guys to like envision like something like being awesome. Like that is because it's like if you do that, the energy is gonna be different. But I love this. How does that feel for you?
It feels good. Yeah, it's like I know how to do that, but I see that I'm making it different. I've lost a little bit of the energy in the last weeks. So
Yeah, because you've been sick. So instant forgiveness. Nothing has gone wrong. This is exactly the way it was always supposed to go. It's like this, you were always supposed to get sick and feel this and bring this to our coaching call today on December 12th. And from this point forward, we can move forward.
exactly. Let's move forward.
Yeah, girl. I love this. Does anyone are you open to any other like ideas from people?
Oh, of course. If
anyone
anyone
has any
is
thoughts, feel free
listening,
to bring them. Of course. I was like, I think this is
guys,
helpful for everybody, especially towards the end of the year. We don't want to burn out towards the end of the year. That's not ideal.
Demetria was
I
just
I have one. So I was just thinking, like when you were talking about your downtime and taking time. I mean, because you're still in a full-time job, you have days off from that, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
have. And
Yeah.
I've used all of my vacation. I even have sick days. I am using them. But
Yeah.
even during the days I'm taking, which I did for Thanksgiving, actually the first 3 days, but then I organize all of the systems. with all
Right.
but I liked it. It was very energizing, but I didn't stop.
No, but what I mean is like they give you days off. They don't expect you to work 7 days a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I like this.
You have to maybe give yourself some days off as the CEO of your business.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yes, I like this. Even in my job, that's why we have the days off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was it.
I will think about you now, Dimitria, all the time. I love it.
And I give myself a day off. I give myself 2, really.
Me too.
Well, yeah.
Is like as a CEO, I know that I work best with a rested mind. It's like I show up stronger, clearer, more focused, more energized. I really try and like, and when I'm off, I am off. I am not looking at anything on social. I could have 50 messages and I go straight to like memes. I'm like, yes, and tomorrow. I'm like, I even like text messages on my phone. I have like 40 messages sometimes, and I'm like, no, I'm off right now. I will respond to you when I have time. It's like boundaries to be like, I really need to, and I really haven't noticed it as much as I've needed it right now. But like I've really been like hardcore taking time off because I know that if I were to come to this call and I didn't watch 6 episodes of freaking 24 last night, I would not be showing up as strong as I am right now. So that's important. I'm proud of you. There is a reason why companies don't work 7 days a week. And a lot of companies in like other countries like work like 4 days a week. So crushing it.
And I'm a big fan of the 4 days week, actually. 4 days working week.
Right. So it's like we
Not
want to
even
give
5.
yourself like 3 days off, even as a CEO.
Yeah.
Another thought that I gave another client was that thinking about your job is like a part-time job. So like energetically, your brain is like, okay, it's like this is my part-time job. I come here, I have fun, I like give value, and then this is coaching is my full-time job. That really helped when I was teaching. It was like, yep, I come, and it took all of the mental energy out of teaching, and I got stuff done so much faster. It was hilarious. I was literally like report cards, which would have taken me like a whole week, I got done in 3 hours. It was literally just like all this other stuff that I was doing. It was like thinking about like my job as like a part-time job. It was like, oh, it's like I just need to come get the work done, check the box, and then move forward. So I don't know if that helps you, but that was helpful for me.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
of
Thank
course,
you, Dimitria.
so good, I think, for everybody. What we're gonna do. Oh wait, who wants some coaching next? I think this is so helpful. I think for everybody. I'm like, Demetria. I was like, you got your video on. I was like, do you want to bring, and Nadia, I know you've got a webinar coming up. I was like, Alicia, I
The
was like,
webinar was yesterday.
Nadia's what?
I think so. It was December 11th.
Oh my God. We want to hear how it went. For sure. But
She
no
said it
pressure.
was amazing.
Oh, good, good. I was like, I didn't see that. Was that in the Instagram channel? So exciting. Love it. Okay, I'm so proud of you.
Here is she. She
I was
is.
like, yes, sorry. I was like, I didn't mean to like put you on the spot.
You're
Oh, you're
muted.
muted. You're muted for some reason. We can't hear Nadia. We can't hear
You're
you.
muted. You're muted.
You
I
might
think
need to change your microphone to something else. It doesn't say that you're unmuted, which is weird, but like you might need to click on your like microphone little button. And you click like mute and then select a microphone and like a different audio source.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can.
Okay. You got? Okay. So yeah, so I did it yesterday. I didn't have the best week leading up to it. It was kind of similar for my drama from when I last got coached. I wasn't really putting in a great deal of energy or effort to it. I think genuinely I was just thinking this isn't going to work, so I just kind of switched off. And before I did it, I was like, I really just don't think I'm going to do it. And I really was like hoping no one came. Like, not very many people signed up. So I think that was probably driving forward my, like, this is just pointless. So only one person, well, 2 people came live. I only had 5 people sign up, and 2 people came live, but one came quite late and she got stuck at work. So, but the delivery, like, I enjoyed doing the webinar, and that's always a good thing for me. But really what it opened up is that I don't have enough warm leads in this niche to kind of put this on. Well, it's just solidifying that as a thought that I previously had anyway, because obviously I only recently niched to coaches, but in doing this, that really made me think, no, I don't have enough people in my audience that want this, what I have to offer.
Okay, so these are thoughts that we might need to coach on real quick. You open to it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so it's like this, it's like, so the circumstance is 5 people signed up. And so, and what is your goal that is kind of like making you feel like you don't have enough warm leads in this niche?
Well, I wanted to have 3 new clients by the end of December.
Uh-huh.
I haven't signed any of them.
Okay, yep. So it's like, how does it feel? What do you think is thought? I don't have enough warm leads in this niche.
It feels like heavy, you know, you're just like, oh,
What you
this is
doing?
not good.
Yeah.
Did you ask me a question? Sorry.
Yeah. What are you doing from that place of heaviness?
Oh, well, barely taking action. Like, I'm doing like very little.
Have you talked to those 5 people and being like, I think you'd be a great fit for this. I would love to hop on a consult to show you what you could do. Perhaps not.
Well, the one person that came, and not annoyingly, but like, so because I previously, luckily I'd done that, otherwise we'd have got no information. I previously set up an email sequence for the people that signed up. And in that sequence, I was always talking about, like, if you come live, someone's going to win a 3-hour session with me. Then, of course, it was only really one person that came. So I'm like, you've won it. But previous to me remembering about that, to be honest, I spoke to her at the end because she was just watching, and I'd offered her a consult, and she says, yeah, that's something that she would be interested in. But then I'm like, then it was awkward because I'm like, but then I also need to give her, not need to really, the free hour. So I'm like, what comes first? Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, I was a little bit confused, and I didn't want to just not mention the free thing. Does that make sense?
But it's like you're not thinking about how, like, I would just do the consult.
I know.
And
But
then
now we've spoken about the free
could that
hour.
be a
So now
free
I'm like,
hour where you audit? It's like a free hour to audit and make a 3-month plan.
yeah,
That's what the consult
for
is.
sure. Like, she's warm, if you know what I mean, which is a good thing. So I've got like a much more warmer lead out of doing it. So I'm happy that I did it. And then the person that came on late, she was like, oh, I'm gutted I've missed it. But then I was meant to send the recording, but it's not recorded. So I'm so annoyed at that it's not recorded. But
So what you could do
I'll
is you
listen to
could always
it.
re-record it for sure. Like as you delivered it, I did that before for a annual plan webinar that I did this summer.
Mhm.
But it's like, of course, if you're thinking I don't have enough leads, you're not seeing the leads right in front of you.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, so that's like the result. It's like not seeing the leads right in front of you. They're like, hi, I want a consult. And you're like, "Ugh, but do you?"
Yeah.
Like, it's okay, brain. It's like brain is braining. And when we're thinking about this, like when you're thinking about like that heavy feeling, it's like you're like, of course I need more. Like it's like this. What's coming up when you're seeing? Did you see this before we talked right now?
And I see what? Yeah,
That
like
you're
I know that I'm causing my own issues here because I'm like, literally this week I'm like, I'm just gonna give up on this whole thing.
oh no. Okay, so we need to get you out of here. I was like, I'm so glad that I was like it's like give up. It's like, why? Why do you want to give up?
I don't know, I just like just feel so heavy.
Yeah, what feels so heavy right now?
Mm. It's just like I feel like I'm starting again from scratch. Do you know, like, so everyone that was in the audience previously, and this is obviously just made up in my head, was like general or, you know, business owners, because that's who I was targeting before, just like general business owners, random business owners. But now, because I'm just talking to coaches, I'm like, when I look at like people that are watching stories, I'm like, there's like only a handful of coaches, and the rest are all other people that I've met and built relationships with that are nothing to do with my niche now. So then I'm just like, oh, why have I done that? Like, I basically have to start from scratch again,
Why
which
did
is
you do
annoying.
that?
So then that's why I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. And I know it's not good at all, but I'm just like,
Really glad. No,
this.
but I've been there so many times. But when thinking about why you decided to niche to coaches, you did that for a reason.
Yeah, the reason was to niche because when you're more specific and more, it can be more like tailored, all your content, all your thing, you know, I think it's easier to do that. But in doing that, I feel like I've cut off all these other opportunities. And what that means is basically if I follow through with this and this is the thought that it's like I'm starting from scratch and I've got so much more to do until I get to the point where it comes to fruition. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because like when I first started content about like general coaching, like it took a while to see, you know, people coming out of that.
But when
So
you're
now I'm just
thinking about
thinking,
like, it's like
pardon?
when you made this decision to niche to coaches, it
Mhm.
wasn't just because it was because it's like it's a tailored content's easier to do, but isn't it also something that you really love?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just want to help women have
Create the
businesses and make money and, you know, and all that. And then this was just an option of, well, this is an area I know a lot about, you know what I mean? Because with my other business, I don't want to coach people on starting that kind of business. So it was really just a pick. If that makes sense. I do
Yeah,
love coaching, don't get me wrong, I really do love coaching.
right. So it's like right now, when we're thinking about like helping women create time and financial, it's like that's something you're really passionate about, right? Helping women
Yeah,
create time and financial freedom.
yeah,
And the thing is, it's like when it's like you also know that you don't want to do the other type of business that you had before.
yeah,
So it's like
yeah,
you
for sure.
could either change the C and go back to general, which is we can change the circumstances at any time. But I think this is something you're really quite passionate about.
Yeah, it is. I definitely do want to do like entrepreneurship, females, business, money, time, all of that.
So it's like your brain is like it didn't happen like as quickly as like you were like, okay, this is perfect. It feels aligned. And then I think there was an expectation that wasn't met. So it was just like a mixed
Yeah.
expectation. Like, okay, like I thought that if I niched, it would what was the expectation that was missed?
I don't know. I just thought, I don't know. I kind of just was, I don't know if I had an expectation. I just was like,
I think
this is the
it
right
was not
move.
a conscious one. I think it was a subconscious one for sure. It's like I think there was
Yeah.
some sort of like subconscious expectation that
Yeah,
like,
it's like this will be so much easier because I'm speaking specifically to them
and how would you know it's easy?
because
How many clients did you like think you were gonna sign?
I didn't really have a plan on it. But at least for the last few months, I've said I want 3 more.
Right. So it's like so you're like, oh yeah, it's like these three people, it's like, oh, like this will be so much easier. These three more people are gonna come. And I think that like it hasn't necessarily been easier. So your
Mhm.
brain's like, oh, it maybe has even been a little harder.
Yeah, because I feel like it is. Because I'm like, well, I don't even have anybody in the audience, or I do have some, but
Yeah, right. It's like, but it's like, so for me, it's like I knew that when I switched my price to 5K and I decided to launch back to back, I knew it's like I had the expectation that this is going to be harder, but it's the kind of business I want to run. It's like I want to
Yeah.
run a business. Like I'm making this decision and strategically, like I was like, I can take the, it's like I could take the harder now or later. And it's like I chose the harder now.
Yeah.
So it's like, what if it's harder but worth it because it's something you love?
Yeah, no, I do like that, and I do agree with that. Like, I would much rather do that and get the business that I want, even though it feels heavier and harder now.
Yeah. It's like, does it feel, it's like when I say it's like I want to create the business I want now versus later, what happens to the heaviness? Does it feel slightly less heavy?
Yeah, because it feels like, well, there's a point. Like,
Yes.
there's
It's
a
like
point
it's
to
like
this.
there is a point. It's like I knew like you could probably make, I know 100% that you could absolutely make 6 figures as a general coach. You could totally do that. But
Mhm.
that's not the kind of that's not the kind of business you wanted to create.
No.
It's like you want to create, when you think about like looking back on your life, you're going to thank yourself for 2023 because you were like, the contribution I want to leave, my legacy that I want to leave on the world is helping women, entrepreneurs create time and financial freedom. I love coach. What's coming up?
Mhm. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, no,
But
no,
yeah,
it's
see,
no.
yeah, but then I'm like, yeah, like I feel like that is 100% what I want to do. But I don't know if it's coaches is what's in that. Do you know what I mean? I feel
Okay.
like, is it that that's not my legacy that I necessarily want to necessarily be a coach of coaches? It's more just a business like for entrepreneurs.
This is where we can change the seat. And it's like, I literally, after the first launch, Demetria was in that group in last September. I was like, I should be a coach for coaches. And so, because everyone who I was working with was a coach, and I was like,
Mhm.
this is the perfect time to niche down to coaches. So I literally changed. If you scroll back to August, I reposted my 6 figure systems carousel slide and I said, I help coaches build businesses.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I don't know if I want to just help coaches. I'm like, these systems I think could work for everybody. I also feel the time and financial freedoms that's super important to me. And I also feel like these systems work for literally any business. So
Yeah.
you can change the words and you can be like, okay, it's like I'm just gonna go entrepreneurs. It's
Yeah,
like
but then that comes away from the whole narrowed down thing, which is what I
is
believe.
it though? It's like, is it though? It's like if we're thinking about your legacy and contribution, it's to create tiny financial and time freedom. And entrepreneurs, it's still a keyword. Small business owner, solopreneur, all those things are still going to show up as keywords if you're concerned about like creating a niche that has tailored content that's easier to do. And I betcha, I was like, if we look at your page and you literally just, it also just says business coach. And we say it's like one-on-one to help entrepreneurs sign clients, how to get consults. Like, it's like if we literally just change this word and we just change it to the business accelerator, helping you build a business from the ground up. What if we literally, you can just unpin this, repin it, take out the word.
But then I'm like, I think I would feel better about that. But
I
then
think
I'm
you will
like,
too. And it's like, so it's like if we, it's like, sorry, go ahead. Like I've got thoughts.
yeah, I think all that's coming up is that like it seems then vague again. Do you know what I mean?
I literally think so. All this content has felt clear, right? It's felt very easy, right? So like
But then
struggling,
that
struggling
deal didn't work.
entrepreneur,
The words disappeared. I was so annoyed.
struggling
Anyway,
entrepreneur. It's like down here, spending like literally, it would just be change the word coach to entrepreneur for all of them. if you're an online business owner struggling to sign clients, if you are want a fully booked practice, look, you don't even have to change the words for this one. More people are going likely to buy your service if you do this. I love this post, by the way. This is so good. Instead of what, how, so good. It's like business fail.
Yeah.
And like literally, it's like all of the things that you're saying, you just change the word entrepreneur for business or for coach.
But then is that then, so help me out with this, because is that just changing a technicality? Like, well, I still have the same,
It's a
like,
technicality, but it's a word that I think is going to give you the freedom that you want and help you keep going in a way that feels good and aligned to you, where you're like, and then you feel more excited to sign people in this niche. I just want to get you into action. Like there are 3 entrepreneurs that can really use the business accelerator right now.
yeah, but now I feel like, so all the people that I'd kind of been warming up before, then I
You
was
can
like,
still work with them.
niche down, and then I'll be like, just kidding. Like it's just gonna look weird and just like,
What if entrepreneurs is a niche?
no, but like, so all the people that were entrepreneurs that were following me, and then I started just only talking to coaches, and then if I'm like, stop doing that, it looks a bit odd.
Does it though? Only because you have a thought. Why? What's your thought? It's like it's inconsistent. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like there's thoughts that you have, right? Versus you're teaching them to niche. You're teaching, it's like they can go from being it's like when you think about what does a niche mean to you? Because this word I think is holding you back.
I think of it as a very specific group of people or having it with a specific problem that you solve. So you can have a sort of vague person if this problem is super specific, or you can have the opposite. I can't think of what I said there, but you know what I mean. Or a really specific group of people. You also need a problem, I suppose, but yeah.
Are these not things that are very specific for the specific group of people of entrepreneurs?
Yeah.
Is this still a niche?
Yeah.
Now
I
you
think
can
that,
keep coaching business. We could totally go with it, but I think that you don't feel sold on it. And so if you're
yeah.
not feeling sold on it, then let's broaden and then niche later if you want. Niche. It's like you're like niche. It's like we just want to like, so it's like, so essentially you've gone from like all businesses to service-based businesses online, and then you niched again to coaches.
Mhm.
We're just going up a level of niche,
Mhm.
but you can still have the word coaches and keywords. Like I make coach, nothing about anything that I say says you will help helping coaches to build their businesses. And 95% of the people I work with are coaches.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not going to exclude the coaches by broadening, and you're not going to, but I think it's going to free you up a little bit to mentally be in here. But if this is like the reason why is this when you said this, I was like, this is, if you're not sure if it's coaches, then of course you're like, I just want to like help this start from scratch feeling. It's like I want to help you feel like, okay, I actually have more entrepreneurs in here, and I also have coaches. I'm building the coaches, and I'm building I already have the entrepreneurs. Let's talk to both.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel it takes away from like my whole ethos of like narrowing down. Like,
Well, and we could not go all entrepreneurs. You could stick with coaches too. I just wanted to show you that this is an option.
yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
Because you said that you felt better as soon as I said that, and then you felt worse. And so I'm like, what? If you felt better and would move forward with it, great. If you feel worse, let's not move forward with it. I just wanted to show you that it's an option for everybody. You
Mhm.
can always change the C to just move forward and help people. But Nadia, I know that you're so freaking good at what you do. that like you've already built all these awesome, it's like you built an awesome business before, you know you can help other people, you know that you're passionate about this. I'm like, what can I do to get you out of your way to like help more of these people?
Yeah, I know. I'm just so annoyed at myself as well. I'm like, it's just so annoying. Oh.
So it's like, what can we do to help you get, it's like, would changing to just be like all entrepreneurs, would that get you out of your own way? Would it just be seeing that there are people that could use your help? Would it be talking to people who aren't coaches? Like, what can help you to bring in these 3 people?
What would help me to what? Sorry, bring in.
Because it's like, I also think of the 5 people, I betcha 3 of them would work with you right now.
Yeah, maybe. Like normally when I do, I think this is what's annoying me as well. Like normally when I do a free training, I'll at least get like 30 sign-ups really easily. Like, you know, so and then get more people that come. Like yesterday was the first time I was like, nobody's actually, this has never happened before. Nobody's shown up. You know what I mean? So I was like, this is awful.
Yeah, it's like, this is, yep, so this is the expectation.
Yeah.
It was like easy to do this before. That's of course what your brain is like, this sucks, let's give up. Like, this is the
Yeah,
worst.
that's what I'm doing. But then, so then I'm like, do I listen to that or do I just, you know, coach on that and be like, no, this is what I want to do and need to do. Do you know what I mean?
And that's why I was kind of like trying to bridge the gap with both.
Yeah.
It's
So then
like,
which way do I go?
so I
Oh.
say that, so then it's like, if you, it's like the only thing that you said that made me think is like, not sure if it's coaches. That's the only thing that made me think this. But like, let's say it is coaches. Like, coaching businesses are the way. I just want you to sell yourself on it, that they want this right now. And it's worth it to go from 3 to 30. It's like from 30 people to sign up easily before. It's worth it to have 5 signups to do something I really like and I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And I will, if I figured out how to get 30 before, I'll figure out how to get 30 again and so much more.
Yeah. Do you know what I think it is as well? It's like, I kind of feel like when I'm just doing, like, I could meet in general, like, go to networking events and like meet loads of just business owners, right? I'm like, there's nowhere I can go to just meet coaches. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that stumbles me as well because I really like in person and I like all that. But or like if I was to meet someone and say, "What do you do?" "Oh, I'm a coach for coaches." Like, it doesn't land with normal people that are not in the coaching world. Do you know what I mean? I think that
So what you can
messes me
also
up.
do is like, when you introduce yourself, you can be like, I'm a business coach for entrepreneurs. Like, you can say
Yeah,
it, but you don't have to change your marketing for it.
yeah.
Now, also for the in-person, I've thought about this and I like in person too. And I was like, what if I make a Raleigh coaches group?
Oh, what? Sorry.
What if I make a Raleigh coaches group? And there's no coaching event for people in Raleigh or a networking event, but it was like, what if I make one? I was like, what if I decide to like make that happen? I've seriously considered that. Probably after I get back from living abroad, but I'm like, yeah, if there isn't, it's like, if I build it, they will come kind of mentality versus like, I'll only build it if I know I'll be successful.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be in that, like, it's like, I'm going to build something and people will come.
Mhm. I just don't think there's enough people that are locally that are coaches. Or why would they want to come network with other coaches? They want to network with clients.
Maybe, or they want to get business help for you. And maybe they want to like talk about growing their business.
Yeah, so rather than just like a networking event, like actually just a group for new coaches that are trying to get their business off the ground.
And what if you make it, you could do it online, you could have it in person, like maybe there aren't enough coaches. How do we know? We haven't asked. I know that I graduated with a class of 700 coaches from the life coach school. 700 people.
Yeah, but I'm in Scotland. It's not as big. I know that's just a thought, but I'm like,
And maybe it isn't that we get to like, it's like we can either pave the way or pave a new path. But it's like, I think that like, are you sold on coaches is the question. It's like that I want my legacy to build coaching businesses that create time and financial freedom. I want you to sell yourself on that first, then you can sell yourself on there being enough people. Because look at IPEC and IFC. It's like coaching businesses are like the largest growing, like coaching. It's like I can sell you either way, but do you want that to be your legacy?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I do love coaches, and I'm passionate about how powerful coaching is, right? So, like, when I think of it the other way, I'm like, the more people I help means the more people get help. So that's like, it's better than just a business that sells random stuff, right? That's not as impactful. So I do love the whole aspect of coaching. I think I should stick with it. I just need to change my thoughts about it.
I agree. And I'm like, so it's like, and I want you to see it, it's like explore every alternative. But
Yeah.
now I want you to be like, this is my legacy, is like creating incredible coaching businesses. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how much
Yeah.
effort it takes. I am willing to go to bat for these people. These are my
Yeah.
people. I'm going to find, it's like, and this is like the determination factor. It's like, if I can't immediately see them, I will find them. It's like, I am determined to find 3 coaches that need my help right now. That's the difference in that thought versus like, oh my God, this sucks. It's like, it's not instantly working.
Yeah.
It's like,
Which
that is
sounds so
so
entitled, right? I'm not really like that, but
no,
this
I
is
know
clearly
you're
what's
not.
going on in my head. I'm
It's
like,
all your subconscious. No one is judging you at all. I swear to God. But it's like now that we've gone both routes, we know the path you want to create. We know the business you want to create. It's like if we wanted to sign 3 clients, it's like before the end of the year, we want to sign 3 clients in 3 weeks, right?
yeah,
In any event, what we're doing is we are learning the skill. It's like you want to sign 3 clients in 3 weeks and maybe 3 clients in 1 day eventually. So it's
yeah,
worth it to learn the skill and put the effort in now in order to build this. So like for me, it's like I know that to hit 1 million, I would need 15 one-on-one clients at 12K and then 32 people in my group at 15K. So I set my site at 35 and I was like, I'm just going to spend my effort. I'm like, what would it take to sign 35 people into my group right now? And
yeah.
instead of it being like, oh my God, it's like, I want you to be like an experiment. Like, it's like,
Mhm.
I'm going to do what are the things, and this goes for everybody. It's like, put your goal in, and I want you to think about like all the actions. What are the things that we think it's going to take to sign 3 clients? It's like, I think that my actions are great right now, and I'm open to more ideas like as it goes, but I'm going to try this for the next 3 weeks and see like, but like now I think that you're like, the thing is like the motivation behind it. If you were to become the kind of person that signs 3 clients in 3 weeks, it's like, what is that version of you thinking?
Well, it's just that there are millions of people there that want and need my help, right? I believe that there's hundreds of coaches, you just start there, that are struggling, that want to make a business, that want to help people, that want to use this skill that they've learned, but they just can't do it. They're just not getting out of their own way. They don't have the plan, they're just not getting themselves to do it.
And so I
So
want you to like, and it's like, I'm gonna find the 3 who need my help this week. It's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna find, it's like, so it's like, I'm going to find the 3 that need my help. And let's say this week, like, it's like, if you're like, this week on December 12th, it's like, there are 3 people out there that need my help. I'm gonna find them this week. How does that feel versus the heavy?
but then straight away my brain's like, yeah, but how in a week? How am I like? I go straight to when you're like, I'm gonna find them this week. I'm like,
And like what Harmony was saying is like maybe it's curious. It's like,
yeah,
where are they? It's like, I'm curious. It's like let's find them. Another emotion that for me is a great one is like determined.
yeah,
Like come hell or high water, I'm finding these fucking people. I was like, I don't know where they are. I'm gonna like make it happen.
yeah,
It's like clients don't come to me, I make them come to me. Like it's not in like a weird, creepy way, but like in a way that I'm like, I will show
yeah.
you.
You're in control. You're in control rather than
And I
it just
think that you
happening
don't
to
feel in
you.
control right now. I think it's why it feels heavy because you're focusing on all things outside of your control versus what you can control.
Yeah, which is just showing up, speaking to people, putting out good content that speaks to them, and then making offers to come onto calls.
Uh-huh. What
But in my head, right, so straight away I'm like, yeah, but if I've not done it, say it's been 2.5 months we've been in this, if I've not done it in that period, what are the chances in a week that I'm just gonna be like, boom, 3 clients?
I want you to offer this thought that like they can come in a moment. It's like literally, you have no idea how many times I've posted like 5 more spots and nobody's come. But it's like in a moment I shifted and it happened so fast
So what was that shift?
that I could see it being possible. What I was talking about with Harmony, I was like, I literally like pictured them. I was like, this really wouldn't be that bad. I was like, I can totally like, it's like picturing those 3 people. I want you to picture you talking to them and being like, oh my God, they're perfect. Like, who are the people who came to the webinar? What are their names or signed up?
What are their names? Did you say? Oh, God, one was Samantha, one was Susan, one, I can't remember the other 3. I would need to go and check.
You see, it's like, so your brain is like already counting them out, but it's like, I want you
Yeah,
to,
because they 2 came, the other ones didn't, so I'm like, they're not in my
so
head.
you're like, yeah, it doesn't even matter, right? So it's like, I want you to look at their Instagram. Okay. I want you to look at Samantha's Instagram. And I want you to think about the difference it would be for 3 months of working with you. What would her business look like
Yeah,
from now? And I want you to sell yourself that like she would be a perfect person for the Coaching Business Accelerator.
yeah.
That she would be
And I was
like,
speaking to someone else just now as well, that on her goal, when I was asking her goal, she's like, it's to get my business like launched in the new year. So I'm like ready to make her. It's just trying to like, figure out how I'm going to make that offer to her as well, because I totally could help her for sure.
just say, it's like, I could totally, okay, we're gonna say, I could totally help you. I would love to hop on a consult if you're free this week because I have so many ideas for you. No pressure at all, but here's my availability. If none of these times work, let me know because I know this would be so great for you.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So whoever, and like, what if Samantha, Susan, and this other girl are your 3?
I know. That could be the case.
I want you to picture yourself coaching them and it being awesome.
Yeah. And it would be. Like, I love coaching and I'm good at it. Like, I'm like,
So it's like, we want to
this
get
would
to
help
that.
them.
Literally just being like, I could totally this goes for everybody. Feel free to take these exact words. I could totally help you. I would love to hop on a consult this week. It's like, I want any of your warm leads that you're talking to. It's like before the holidays at the end of the year, it's like, let's talk and let's maybe get on a call because I wanted you to have a plan when the new year comes around versus like being lost. It's like, yeah, no pressure. But it's like, do you see how different that is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like offering them this amazing thing, and they get to decide whether they want to join or not. But it's
Yeah,
like,
I'd be like, no pressure at all. I'll still be touching base with you. Like, all good. It's like,
yeah,
but how does that feel? Like, if
yeah. I think, yeah, out of those 5 people or 6 people, for sure, they could be the people. They've already
Yeah.
raised their hands to say they want help, basically,
they
so
literally said they want help. So what is that feeling now versus heavy? Like, what if is it like now?
yeah, it just feels like it's possible, like possibility, like it's like, I don't know if that's the feeling, like I can't think of the feeling, like
Like motivated? Like,
I don't know if it's motivated. I just am like, yeah, maybe motivated. Like, this could happen. This totally could happen. I could make it happen. Like, there's options available to me to do this. Like, yeah,
available. Do you see like how different that is? It's like, oh, I can figure this out. I mean, it's like
yeah,
open. It's like open. It's like I'm open to see. Is it lighter, hopefully?
yeah, yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? I'm like, so it's like that is like this shift I want you to picture yourself like working with them, being like, and everyone that is on your nurture list,
Mhm.
everyone, I want you to post on your Instagram, 3 spots open here.
Yeah.
It's like 3 spots open. I would love to, it's like 3 one-on-one spots open, book a call here. And change your bio.
Okay. Pardon?
Change your bio.
Okay.
It's a free training. So we're gonna like change bio and pin post 3 spots open.
Yeah. Okay.
3 one-on-one spots.
And then
open.
sell them the benefits of like the 6 months of what will be life after. Like, so by June next year, you will have a coach, like a thriving coaching business. You'll have a system to get clients. You will know how to market easily, so it doesn't take up all your time, and you will know how to convert on a sales call for sure.
Bitch, who is she? This is a
Yeah,
different person. I'm like,
totally.
yes. What is that emotion right now that you said that?
Yeah, it's like certainty, because I'm like, I know I can help people. Like, I know someone signs up, I'm going to help them transform their coaching business for
Now
sure.
it's like, and I'm willing to go to bat to find them to make it
Yeah.
work for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's such a waste. Like, if I was like earlier on the week, I'm like, I'm just gonna give up on this whole thing, right? But I'm like, what a waste. Like, I know I'm really good at coaching. Because it sometimes always comes in my head, like, I could just sell a product. That'd be so much easier. Or like any other business. In my head, I'm like, any other business would be easier than selling coaching to me right now.
Any
But
other business, but it's like, that's not the legacy I want to leave, brain.
you what, sorry?
It's like, that's not the legacy I want to leave. It's like,
Exactly. Like I could literally follow all these random things and be like, right, I could just create a product, sell it. But like that's I did it with another business. We've got a furniture company that I started. We've got a kids entertainment company which I started. And the both of those were like still, even though I had freedom and I had money, I was like, it's still not cutting it. Like I want to make a difference.
yes, and this is the difference I want to make. It's like, if you are ready to create the time and financial freedom that you never thought was possible, this is what I want to offer to you. It's so important for you to book this call before January 1. It's like
Yeah.
the reason, it's like people who are waiting for January 1 will be waiting for way longer. It's like
Yeah.
this is your time now. I want you to sign up. You are ready. I'm so excited to work with you. That's the energy.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Okay, I'm gonna go back to
Go
it.
Go and do this. I am so freaking proud of you. I'm so freaking proud of everybody. You are awesome. Both of you, everybody in this group is so awesome. Keep up the awesome work, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.